Hey everybody, it's Curtis. I'm so excited about today's podcast, and I need to give you a heads up. This one's going to be actually a little longer than most of the other ones because it's one of the most requested topics that people want to talk to me about after my program. And this is one we have to go a little bit deeper so that you're able to cast your show wisely in the best way and with the most love and the most heart. So hang in here with me. It's going to be a little bit longer, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. Well, hello and welcome to the next 24 hours. You're in the right place, but this series is actually going to be Life at Performance Level, and this is going to be based on my best-selling book, Life at Performance Level, and my keynote speech. So I want you to really jump into this content, feel great about it, because I'm going to give you all the tools you need to take your life to a higher level of performance. Get ready to live the dream. Welcome, everyone. It is Curtis, and I want you to understand that if you're listening to this specific podcast today, we're going to be going a little heavy, okay? This is not a light, hey, living the dream, and this is going to be your real life, and I need for you to know I have to give it the weight because when I'm done with my speech all over the country, one of the biggest things people come back with is what was sticky to them and what they need to work on, and that is looking at the cast in their life, casting their show wisely, and potentially giving some people, and it could be main players in their life, fewer lines. So I'm just setting you up ahead of time to let you know I'm a pretty, excitable guy, live with passion, but this is going to be something that you have to really think about, and it might mean major dramatic change if you actually actualize the things we're going to talk about. All right, so having said that, I'm ready to jump into casting your show wisely. So let's remember you're the star of the show, so you're already cast as the main character. You're the only person that's going to go to sleep with you and wake up with you every single day of your life. So you're the star. I tell people all the time, I love my wife. We've been married over 20 years, and she's just amazing, and I'm so blessed to have her in my world. But she's not in every scene of my life. She doesn't travel the country like I do with me near enough. I wish she could. I'm the only person that's in every single moment of my life, just like you. So therefore, I'm the star of the show, just like you. So we have to get that cemented in your brain first. Now, the next thing is the 6 or 8 people you surround yourself with habitually. These are other cast members in your life show. And I want you to start thinking about those cast members right now, those 6 or 8 people. And I want you to think, who in those 6 or 8 people that every time I'm around them, I feel love, I feel energy, I feel somebody that wants me to succeed with my dreams and my goals and my aspirations and turning into the person I want to be. And I love just being around them. They make me feel comfortable. Think about those 6 or 8 people. Which ones of those make you feel that way? Take a minute. Now, the second half of that equation is I want you to think about those 6 or 8 people, and I want you to think about the ones whenever they're around, you just kind of get a stomach ache. Whenever they're around, you just feel like something could explode any minute. Whenever they're around, you just know there's probably going to be drama because they're in the room. Those people are called crazy makers. And there are crazy makers in this world. We live in the real world, and those are real people that exist right next to you every day. And you need to give the crazy makers in your life fewer lines in your life show. And you need to give those healthy, whole, loving people that think you're awesome and want to help you just go and impact the world at a deep level. You need to give those people more lines in your life. That's called casting your show wisely. And anytime you go to a play, anytime you go watch a movie, I want you to think about who's the main character in the show. Well, that's you. And then who are the people that the director and the casting coach and the casting director picked to make sure that they complement the main character of that program. That's exactly what I want you to think about. And I'm here to tell you, some people listening to this today literally have people they need to write out of their life show altogether. And I know that might sound harsh, and I know, whoa, Curtis, wow. No, I warned you. I'm here. I have to tell you the truth as you're listening. And the truth is, there are some poisonous people that are abuseful, that are never going to change, especially if all you're trying to do is save them. You know, I have an amazing friend of mine that's also a speaker. His name's Dave Coleman, and he's known as the dating doctor. And he taught me this years and years ago when I first started out as a speaker. He said, Curtis, if you're in a relationship and you're trying to save someone, so what do? You love them so much that you're going to save them. What do? You give and give and give, and they take and take and take. Then they don't give anything in return, but you want to save them. You want to save them. What do? You give even more. And what do? They give you nothing in return. And he said, now stop thinking with your heart and start thinking with your head. Use your head and answer this question. This is what he told me. Why would that person ever change their behavior? They're never going to change their behavior. All their dreams are answered. Everything they want in their relationship, everything they want, you're giving them, and they don't have to give anything in return. Why would they ever change? They won't. You have to stop giving. You have to stop being the person that's going to save them so they can go off and save themselves. And you have to give yourself permission to realize it's not your responsibility to save them. There's a difference between a hand up and a hand out. There's a difference between draining everything you have emotionally every time you're with someone compared to putting and filling someone's jug of water called their life, and then them taking that, drinking from that, and becoming a better person and taking responsibility for their own life. So that's casting your show wisely, and I want you to think about in your real life who needs to get fewer lines and who needs to just totally be in your show more often. One caveat to what I just said, because people say, wow, Curtis, that's so harsh. You write them out of your show. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission. Here's a safety line. You ready? They can go off and work on their routine. And anytime you want to let them come back and audition to be back in your life, you can. But in the meantime, the drama's out of your life and your show get to move forward. So now they're going to come back on your terms to play the part you want them to play. And that is really what living the dream and taking control and being the director of your own life is all about. So as I mentioned, this is kind of a heavy topic. And people come to me after my program and tell me about the crazy makers and the changes they've made in the past and how good it feels, or the ones they're afraid to make. So I want to give some kind of boundaries, some guidelines. So because of that, I think it's really important that we go a little bit deeper in what it really looks like specifically to give people fewer lines. Well, your life right now, if you think of the Wizard of Oz, your life is just like in the Wizard of Oz in the opening scene. And there can be a giant tornado coming. And a tornado is when you walk up to somebody in your life and say, listen, I never want to talk to you again. I never want you to call me again. I'm writing you out of my show because you're abusive, because you have hurt me in ways that only you and I know, and I never want to see your face in my life again. Well, whoa. Okay, I don't recommend that. Okay, because that's a tornado coming to your life. And when you do that and a tornado hits your life, there's lots of debris. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of other people in that 6 or 8 people you surround yourself with that are also probably going to be affected in a deep way, and probably in ways you didn't intend, probably in ways that you didn't want to bring them into all of this drama. So that is a way. And if you're listening and someone's abusing you and you need to get the heck out of there, well, that may be your choice. Then there's the way I think most people should do it. And most people, by the way, right now I'm only talking about your personal life. We're going to come to your professional world and the way we write people in and out of our show there as well. This is personal. So in your personal life, if there's somebody that gives you that pit in your stomach, if there's somebody that is always drama and you are not sure how to give them fewer lines, here are a couple of examples. Think of, rather than the tornado, what it's going to be a breeze. It's going to be a light breeze, and you're slowly going to take that breeze and push them, literally push them with that breeze out of your life to have less and less focus until finally they're off and they're gone and you don't even hardly see them or feel them anymore. Two parts of that. One, there is the actual day-to-day contact with that person. Emails, phone calls, personal contact, face-to-face. That's one thing. The other thing is, and this is something you have control of today, and that is your emotions when that person's around. The way they make you feel is not them. You're allowing that to happen. Now, I'm not talking physically hands on you. I'm just talking about when you have a conversation with them and they walk off in a huff, and then you turn around and you carry that emotion, you carry that, that pain, that at what they said to you, you carry that around for 3 hours. It's like they're in the room with you for 3 more hours. The first thing you have to do to give people fewer lines and to get the crazy makers out is you have to detach from them and their power and the way they suck the lifeblood out of you by allowing your emotions to not be tied to their words or their actions. Once you do that, then giving them fewer lines. What does that mean? That means, you know what, when they text you, just give it an extra 3 to 5, 10 minutes before you text them back. Don't be on their beck and call 24/7. If they call, they can leave a message. If it's an emergency, they'll call back. If they text, don't answer immediately. And slowly what this person's going to do is they're going to start, hey, I called you. I texted you 3 times. Why aren't you answering? Well, I'm working on some things right now. I'm taking some time to kind of redesign my life, and I have to have more time for me. So I'm spending less time across the board with everyone else right now because I need some me time. If they don't get that and they don't appreciate that and they think that that's ridiculous, well, they're just screaming, write me out of your show, write me out. They're saying exactly the wrong thing. What they should be saying is, wow, it wasn't an emergency. You don't have to text me right back. I get that you're working on some things, and I'm really proud of you, and I think that's amazing, and I probably should do that more. Wow. I know I just said that, and some of you are listening, well, this person would never say that. Then it's the wrong person, because then they're not supporting you in what you need to live your dream. So answer their request for your attention less. Spend more time on you. If it's someone you currently live with, might be a brother or sister or mom or a dad, go for a walk more often. Put in earbuds and listen to music or a book on tape or, an amazing podcast. CurtisZimmerman.com. Just kidding. So these are the things I want you to think about when you really talk to yourself. Remember, talk to yourself about the way they physically make you feel and the emotions involved, and give them less power. Then you can give them less lines. Last thing before I let you go, we have to talk quickly about the business world. Obviously, I do a lot of work in corporate America and a lot of work with individuals with VIP days, and you can't just walk in and just get sick of somebody and fire them, okay? That's not fair to them. It's also illegal, by the way. So instead, I want you to have what I call as a knee-to-knee conversation with the crazy maker at work. And I want you to sit with them knee to knee. That means you're sitting close enough to where they're comfortable, you're having a deep conversation. Here's the deal. You've worked here a long time. I've worked here X. And, things have gone a certain way, and you have a certain power around this office. You have a certain power with the people here, and that's great. My problem is you're using some of that power to undermine me. You're using some of that power to make me look bad. You're using your influence in a way that doesn't represent our brand correctly. You're using your day-to-day to create drama and distract people from our ultimate goal, which is to sell products, impact people's lives, whatever the service or product you represent. Based on that, I wanted to have this conversation with you because you need to know things are going to change starting now. And when I see you do something or I hear something under your breath, I will be calling you out on that. And if it keeps going, you will get fewer lines, fewer hours, and we may have to give you a raise to a customer, which means we're going to have to let you go. So I'm sharing this with you today because I want you to come on the journey with us. I want you to get excited and be my biggest cheerleader and help our objectives and our big projects move down the road in a positive and fun environment. If you're willing to do that, I welcome you with my whole heart, and I'm excited about the next 6 weeks. If I don't see it, I need for you to know I'm not kidding around, and we will be letting you go. That is a conversation, if you're in leadership, that you have to have with those people. I know everyone wants to be the leader. Everybody wants to be C-suite. Why? Because then, I get to go and give the big check to the YMCA because we support them. That's not why you get paid as a C-suite. You get paid as a C-suite to have the conversation I just told you. That's why you have the extra digits on the end of your check each and every month. So get that in your mind and go live it. And don't be afraid to let them know you'd love to have them in the next chapter of this company's journey. But we're probably going to be doing things a little bit different. Change is the new normal. All right, time for my favorite part of this program and what makes this podcast so different. It's the 24-hour challenge, and this is the most important 24-hour challenge of all. I want you to go tomorrow in the next 24 hours, get a piece of paper, and I want you to write the names of the 6 or 8 people you surround yourself with habitually, the 6 or 8 people that have the biggest part in your life. And I want you to write their names nice and large, just the 6 or 8 people. Take up the whole sheet of paper. Then I want you to focus on the 1 or 2. Some of you, I hate to say it, it might be 4. I'm hoping it's just 1, but it might be 1 or 2 of the people that you need to give fewer lines to, that you need to give them a smaller part in your life. So that if we had you write this piece of paper in 6 months from now, you would still write their name potentially on the paper, but it would be a tiny little name down in the lower left-hand corner of the paper. Now, I also have the thing that I'm more excited about, and you have to do in the next 24 hours, and I want you to think about the 2 or 3 people on that page that give you energy, that show you love, and I want you to let them know. I want you to reach out to them in the next 24 hours. It might just be a text message. It might be a quick call. It might be a hug. And just say, I need you to know I am so glad you're part of my life. I don't tell you enough, but I think you're amazing. I love you so much. Reach out, do that. It can be an emoji if you don't, I feel awkward. Do an emoji kiss, okay, whatever. But go do it in the next 24 hours. Love on the people that need to have bigger parts. Start giving those other people fewer lines. Do it now and watch your life change. Hey everybody, I wanted to thank you so much for listening, and I have a workbook that is all about script writing. It's how to write a new script. It's normally $15 on my website. I want to offer it to you today for free. Just go to curtiszimmerman.com/new script, and you'll be able to download that as a free gift. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you keep listening to the next 24 hours.